Alright guys, new day. Got this all done. Made it up last night. I don't know if you can see all in there, but it's done, good enough. Unfortunately, that means I have to start working underneath this thing, which actually I don't know if I showed you guys or not, but I bought this this bracing kit here from a local place in town actually, so should make life a little bit easier. It's got the trans cross member and all sorts of stuff like that. I got those floor braces, so I just kind of lined those up where they're going to go on the floor. And just today I got these Dan Chuck body bushings, so I'm hoping I'm going to get under there, start chopping everything out, see what it all looks like. Hopefully I can put those new pieces in, get the body bushings on and kind of started. Got a new bolt kit with it as well, so it should be ready to go. And then once I got everything kind of cinched together and all that, then I'll weld that in and weld in those the braces and all that once I level the car out and everything. So unfortunately it's going to be a lot of under the car stuff for a little bit, so I guess we'll see how that turns out. I bought a new light, so hopefully that'll be good for you guys to see what I'm doing under there. And yeah, that's about it. So I think next time you see me, I'll be under the car grinding and cursing at it. So we'll see how that goes. Alright guys, so I put this camera in a case there, so hopefully it sounds decent and everything. But this is what I got. So the front brace is actually still pretty decent. I can kind of re-weld it where the floor's been repaired before, and you can see right in here there's nothing left of the body bushing. This is the main issue. There was this one here, this floor brace, and then that, which I got all 3 pieces of that. I actually just bought, they actually just sell end caps, so you can just kind of put the piece on, it'll slip up over the frame. It's got a little curve, goes right around there. I can weld it right to the sill. Back here, this one's finished, same idea. But I have this piece that has the nut pre-welded in, ready to go. So you line that up, kind of weld it up to the floor, put a new bushing in there, and tighten it all up. Shouldn't be a problem. And then back here, I've got a long one as well. So this, it actually doesn't do a whole lot, but just across there, same idea. That's it right there. And actually the body bushing is on the inside of this one, as you can see. So that's that. The other side is actually good. They must have been replaced at some point before. And then once you get under here, this is where the there would be another mount there for, I guess, the back of the motor or something like that, whatever they would have had, because this thing didn't have a transmission cross member from factory. So there's just a hole there with nothing. That one has a bolt just going through it for no reason. Now that I'm under here, you can see this is a replacement one that's been added on at some point. So this side has been done before. But yeah, I'll grind that all off, and that'll be nice and smooth. Then I can weld on that bracing kit. It should be good. So that's what I'll get to next. Start cleaning up on here. It's terrible working on the garage floor, but that's all you can kind of do. So yeah, I'll unbolt these, see how it goes. Hopefully it'll come apart nice and easy. Maybe I can jack the body up a little bit, put it on some 4x4s or some blocks to get a little bit of space. Zip it out, grind it, put the new one in, tack it in. Shouldn't be too difficult. And actually these braces are pretty well built. They're nice and thick, so it should be easy to weld. Shouldn't be a whole lot of issues. You look just like factory. Alright guys, so I cut out most of the body mounts best I could. All the bolts, half of them broke. This is what I'm left with. Use some 4x4s to lift it up, and I jam some 4x4s between the frame and the body to give me a little bit of clearance. So that's that. I'm going to try and start getting some of these off, see if I can find some spot welds to drill them out, so life will be a little bit easier. This one's going to be a little tricky, I guess, to get in there, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. So I'll get working on that. I haven't actually got them all out, which is actually pretty nice. So the body is just kind of floating above the frame, which is good. So we'll see how it goes here. Once I get these out, I'll show you the progress I made. I'll show you the absolute chaos under here. So I managed to get most of the braces off. There was one that ran across there, the one that went through there, and then I just kind of halfway working on this one. And as I took this, the braces here out, you can see there's clearly rusty hole in the floor. So we'll have to cut a piece out and weld that in. Otherwise, it seems to be going pretty good. The front brace is by far the easiest. You can actually see I managed to just break the spot welds up in there, if you can notice or not. But overall, that'll just fit right in like that. That's pretty decent. I mean, a little bit just fitting around. A few welds, that'll fit in like nothing. This one here, once I replace this, it simply fits across there, and that's where the seat will bolt to. This one at the back is going to be the problematic one, because the replacement panel, it's just the end cap. You can see it's kind of stepped down. It actually joins right above the frame, which is going to be terrible to do with the body on the frame. So I'm going to have to figure something out as to what I'm going to do there. I'll probably end up splitting this panel open a little bit and just you know, kind of cutting right around there, and then I can just join it over top a little bit, just lap them over. Won't be the prettiest, but it'll be plenty strong, and I don't think anybody will really notice. But otherwise, what's nice, all the frame itself, where the body bushings and all that are going to go, are in great shape. They're not rusty in the center. In the Nova, I had to weld washers on and all sorts of stuff. So both on this side are mint, and this front one actually was good too. So that should save me a lot of time. So once I do that, there's a few little holes here and there I got to do and clean up some welds and all that. But it's pretty much there. But I gotta stop what I'm doing, I think, and I'm gonna end up doing a bunch of cleaning and all that, because there was a lot of grinding and cutting and a big mess, and it's a pain to roll around. So I'll get this cleaned up. I think I'm probably done for the night. I'll start working on this patch panel next, and once I get that kind of tack bolted in, I can put everything else in, set it all down with new bushings, and then I'll know it's all kind of somewhat square and straight and all that. Then I can weld it on all permanent. So that's where I'm leaving it for tonight. Alright, let's give it a quick sweep under there, so I'm not rolling around in garbage. This was the top side of that rust. Obviously looks like it's been repaired before. I cut through it a few spots there, but there's obviously not much to it. So I'm going to hit that with a flap wheel, clean it all up, see what I got. I've got this piece left over from the patch panel, so hopefully that's all the metal I'll need. Cut it out. A little patch in. You can go up here, you can see it's actually been patched and pretty rough before, so I might grind that down and buzz it in a little bit before I get too crazy. So that's what I'll be working on next. Hopefully get those panels in, and then I can start put the bracing in. Alright, here's a little patch panel. Nothing special. Just kind of tacked in there. Good enough, kind of follows enough of the curve that I'm happy with it. I'll finish welding that in and seam seal it after, but now at least on the underside I got some good metal to work with. The rest of it's all pretty solid and whatnot, so shouldn't have any issues under there. Alright guys, I got everything kind of cut out best I could. So the front brace is gone, the center one is gone, and then over here I trimmed this one up, got in there the best I could with the grinder. So I'm going to overlap it and then weld around. It should be fine. So that's that. I got to hit everything with the wire wheel yet again and just make sure it's all kind of good metal. Like this obviously is where the brace is going to go. It's nice and shiny. So that should be good. So I'm going to put in some body mounts, see what I can get all fitting, get it all together, and then tack weld it all in. So once I get it together, I'll show you how it turned out. Alright, there they are. There's kind of bolted in place. I put a couple of tack welds on this one just to hold it. This piece is still somewhat loose, just kind of sandwiched in there. And you can see it's this bout has to go over a little bit. I got to massage it around this little sill patch, but overall I managed to get new bushing in there and the one right up at the front as well, so that's good. The only thing I'm struggling with, I managed to get the bolts of this one in there. This one right here on both sides I managed to break off the bolt inside there, so I got some screwing around to do with both of those. Otherwise, I managed to get every bolt out without breaking it. So that's pretty shocking as far as I'm concerned. But I think I'm gonna call her quits for tonight. A stopple on my head. I feel if I try and get these bolts out now, it'll just be frustration and I won't make any progress there. So I think I'm done there. Tomorrow, come back and hopefully drill those out, or maybe I can heat them up, vice grip them. Who knows what I can do. And once those come out, then it's just a bunch of new body bushings all the way around. Put those all in, drop the thing back down, put the weight on it, and then I'll burn these in. So that's it. So overall, pretty successful night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so here's where I ended up. I didn't do a lot of filming there because I was doing some frustrating stuff. So I showed you last time I got those braces on, which is great. That was the bolt I had broken off on both sides. So this side you can see I just kind of drilled it out. It's not exactly perfect, but it's good enough. I managed to get on this side up in there the body mount changed by floor jack and fence post. Otherwise they're all new. Like I said, I got those tacked in. So on this side, pretty much I have all new bushings in, except for right at the very far back. I'll show you I did up top. So I tried welding a nut on, I tried heating up with the torch, I tried all sorts of things. It was just in an awkward spot. And trying to do this with the body on the frame was a nightmare. So I drilled a little oblong hole. I ended up drilling it out from the top. That way I can just put a nut on it or whatever I want to do through, and then I'll just put a little rubber grommet or something like that in there. It's got this for whatever reason, I don't even know what it does, but that was in there, so I'll add one right beside it. It'll look just like factory. So that's that. Yeah, I'll probably start just kind of getting on all the body bushings on both sides done. Tack those braces in. Then I'm going to level the car, kind of snug up all the bolts, tack all the braces in that I got to do. And then after that I bought that frame bracing kit. And I should be able to start working on that. So I just have one brace left. That one right there. Just going to go there. It's kind of a sleeve. It's meant to go over it, but I'll probably just cut around there best I can. It's pretty rotted there, but in there, touch it up bad. Same thing, go across, weld to the sill, collar done. So I'll get that, and I'll show you how it goes, and yeah, making some progress. It's ugly doing it on jack stands, but everything's possible.